Assalamualaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So, topic here we are going to discuss it is the chemical reactivity. Basically, the word chemical reactivity is derived from the word that is the word chemistry. When we talk about the subject chemistry, that basically means that we are going to study about all the type of chemical reactions that are taking place around us. We will study under it chemistry. Now, here we are basically try to find what type of chemical reactions are taking place and what does mean by the chemical reactivity. The word chemical reactivity means the tendency of something to react. For example, if we have water and we just add any type of acid or a base in it, now how do this substance will react? What type of products will be formed? Whether the reaction will be fast, whether the reaction will be slow. On the other hand, what type of products are going to be formed and how much time it will take to complete the chemical reactions or to gain the products. All that we will study under the chemical reactivity. Any substance, if it is going to react with the other substance very fast, it means it is more reactive substance and it needs no any external condition or any external assistance for the reaction to take place. But on the other hand, if the reaction is very slow and it is not going to take place at the room temperature, and the room temperature that we have for STP or standard temperature, it is 25 degrees Celsius. If the reaction is not having any type of changes or any type of product formation at 25 degrees Celsius temperature, it means the substance is less reactive. A lot of reasons can be the reason why the chemical substance is reactive or why the chemical substance is not reactive. So, when we have a look on the simple chemical reactivity of different substances, it depends on a lot of conditions or on a lot of terms. Now, what are these terms? The number one term is what is the oxidation state of that substance. Now, when we talk about the oxidation state, it is basically the charge that an atom will have in a molecule or a compound. For example, if we talk about the sodium, its oxidation number is plus 1. Now, from where it gained the plus 1? Simply by the loss of electrons. So, the sodium can easily react with the other atoms of an element that want to gain the electron. So, by losing sodium, will get the positive charge. Now, this electron will be gained by the other substance and that substance will carry the charge minus 1. So the oxidation state affects the chemical reactivity in one way or another way. The second thing is the chemical bonding. Now, chemical bonding is how much the bond is strong between the substances. For example, if we talk about the hydrogen gas here, the two hydrogen atoms are bonded to each other. Now, if that bond which is existing between two hydrogen atom it is stronger, then it will not react and it will be less reactive. But on the other hand, if that bond is weaker, then by interacting with the other substance, that bond will easily break and the substance will be more reactive. So the relationship between chemical bonding and the reactivity is inverse. If the chemical bonding is strong, then the reactivity will be less and vice versa. After this, the third factor that affects the chemical reactivity of the substance, it is the coordination number. Basically, the coordination number is the total number of opposite charge ions surrounding the one ion. It is called its oxidation number. Likewise, if we talk about the sodium chloride, NaCl. In NaCl, the coordination number of sodium and both the chlorine is 8 because one sodium is surrounded by 8 chlorine negatively charged ions and one chlorine which is negatively charged it is surrounded by the positively charged sodium ion, so its coordination number is 8. A lot of number of charges will surrounding the atom or the opposite charge, the more will be its coordination number and the more will be the bond stronger. In turn, the reactivity will be less. The fourth one factor which affects the chemical reactivity, it is heat of combustion. Heat of combustion is mean when the chemical reaction is taking place, how much type of heat is being released or being evolved in this chemical reaction. This is called the heat of combustion. And next we have the toxicity, that how much that substance is toxic. Will it will be difficult or it will be easier to handle with that substance. All that depends on its chemical reactivity. Next we have flammability, that how much it is having the flammability or to catch the flame. If the substance is more flammable, it means it is more reactive. And if it is less flammable, and it will be less reactive. Then the second last factor we have corrosivity, that how do it have effect on the human beings. If it is more corrosive, it means it can react with the substances easily and it is more reactive. And the last one, it itself the reactivity of the substance. If the substances are more reactive, then they can easily form the products. And if they are less reactive, then they will not form the products easily, and we will have to provide or change some external conditions for the products. And if we have the types of material that are around us, we have different kinds of materials around us that are existing in different forms, like the things we have metals around us, we have glass, we have the plastic substances, we have the fabric, we have the concrete, we have the wood, ceramics, and the rubber. All these are the different materials that are surrounding us. Now, here we have seen the metals. Like the metals, we also talk about the non-metals. A lot of materials we have around us that are made up of metals and non-metals. Now, what is the basic position of these metals and non-metals? How do these substances react with one another? And what will be their reactivity? We will talk about all that in this lesson. And here we have the top type of the metals and non-metals. Basically, metals are the substances that can lose the electrons easily and they can form the cations. On the other hand, the non-metals are inverse of this. These are the substances that can, or the atoms of an element that can gain electrons and they can change or they can form the anions. So, cations and anions, when they combine, they form the bond which is known as the ionic bond or the ionic substance. So, how do the metals and non-metals exist in this environment? What is their occurrence? How do they react? Or what is their chemical reactivity? We will all learn it in the next. So this was all about today's lecture. I hope you guys understand about the chemical reactivity of the substances and what are the main conditions or factors that affect this. And if you have any queries, you may ask me about that in the comment section. The next topic that we will discuss, it is about the introduction to metals and their different characters. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.